Shuklam Varadharam Vishnum Shashivarnam Chaturbhujam Prasanna Dhyayet Sarva Vignopashantaye Ramaya Ramabhadraya Ramachandraya Vedase Raghunathaya Nathaya Sitaya Pataye Namaha. Om. Dear friends, welcome to Valmiki Ramayana. We are summarizing the Valmiki Ramayana. We have completed the study of Ramayana in about 316 episodes, and thereafter in the last 3-4 episodes we have been summarizing. And we were just seeing, we are now in this summary of Sundarakanda. And in the Sundarakanda we were seeing an important statement by Sita, that is Asandeshattu Ramasya Tapasasya Anupalanat. She was saying, that is, I don't have any Sandesha, I don't have the permission of Rama to kill you, otherwise I would have killed you. Tapasasya Anupalanat, because I am also observing this tapas, austerity. So there we have seen how the people from Bhakti Sampradaya has elaborately commented on this. That is, in the Bhakti Sampradaya, a devotee is supposed to hand himself over totally to God, and it is for the God to rescue. And of course, if we see here, even in a Laukika, in an ordinary context, Rama as a Kshatriya, it is his duty to take care of his wife. As a Kshatriya, it is his duty to come and respond to punish the wrongdoer. So that is what we see. And again, the question may arise, is Sita really having that power to kill or rather turn Ravana into ashes? Yes, she is having that power. That is what we will see. When Hanuman destroyed the entire, set fire to the entire Lanka, Sita alone was not killed. The entire Lanka was killed. Lanka was, of course, not all the people of Lanka were not killed. The entire Lanka was on fire. But where exactly Sita was there was no fire, and Sita was totally safe. And there Hanuman also observed, Na Agni Ragnau Pravartate. Agni cannot hurt Agni, because Sita herself is like fire. So that is what he was thinking. He was saying. So then, and also she was, and because of her prayer, the Agni, the fire god, was also, he was very, very cool. Even when Hanuman's tail is burning, Hanuman did not feel the heat at all. And Hanuman was wondering. And he realizes, yes, it is because of Sita's power. It is because of Sita's tapashakti, Sita's shakti, that my this Agni is not hurting me. So that is what we see there. Then again, after before Hanuman actually speaks to Sita, he deliberates in himself. He sees the condition of Sita, and if he suddenly goes and then announces himself, then Sita may get alarmed. He may get alarmed and she may cry out, and then all the Rakshasas, they will come, and then they will see Hanuman, and then there is no question of communicating the message. So Hanuman has to communicate the message. If he has to communicate the message, he has to slowly win the confidence of Sita, and he should not frighten Sita. Sita should not get alarmed. So he says the way he thinks in himself, and he also thinks in what language should I speak. If I speak to her in Samskrita Bhasha, then she will think certainly that I am Ravana in disguise. He thinks exactly in the same manner in which Sita is going to think about him. Sita also gets all these doubts about him. And again, if he goes and then he speaks in ordinary human language only, ordinary human language, he doesn't straight away speak. He first of all sings the glory of that Surya Vamsha. Okay, Raja Dasharatho Shrima Raja Dasharatha, okay, Ratha Kunjara Vajiman, etc., etc. In a very nice manner he was speaking, he was singing. And Sita, suddenly she finds, oh, in this forest, in this area which is surrounded by all these Rakshasas, who is actually singing this song? And that's, he sings in such a way, in a very, very gentle manner, because the Rakshasis, all these gods, female gods, were sleeping slightly at a distance. And just within the earshot of Sita, he was just singing very gently. And Sita is surprised, and then immediately she looks at Hanuman, and then she thinks it was a dream. Then slowly and slowly, the way Hanuman dispels all her doubts, and then slowly he comes down, and then he conveys the message to her. And also, And again there is slight, Sita again gets frightened. He may be this man may be Ravana in disguise. Then again there is some sort of exchange of information, and he also produces that ring, and thereafter Sita trusts him. So all that thing we see. Then again, after communicating this message, again we see a very important thing in Kishkinda, in this Sundarakanda, where Hanuman is now deliberating. Now I have finished my message, my task, that is communicating to Sita, and her message also I have taken. Now alpashesham idam karyam. Then there is some little bit is remaining. What? I have to know the strength of the enemy. Because a person who has been entrusted with some job, if he does only that job and comes back, okay, he is just given a pat. But if he does something more, something extraordinary, suppose you have expected him to do some little bit, but he does he does more, much more, in an extraordinary manner, and without harming the original target. He has got one original task. He should not harm the original task. Without harming the original task, he is achieving much, much more. So that is what Purvakarya Avirodhena, without harming the earlier task. So then he thinks, okay, I have to find out the strength of the enemy. How to find out the strength of an enemy? Suppose you want to find out the strength of a person, you have to go and give a small hit. You have to rub him somehow, and then only he picks up a quarrel, and then only then you will know his strength. So exactly that is what we see among bullies. So Hanuman plays bully for a while, and then he destroys that Ashokavana. Some gods they come, and then he thrashes them and sends away. And again lot many people they come, and then all those people they cannot do anything. And finally Indrajit comes and uses that Brahmastra and on Hanuman. And Brahmastra, of course Hanuman has got, he can be bound by Brahmastra also for only a small time. He knows it. And he respects that Brahmastra and allows himself to be bound because he has got a chance to see Ravana. Hanuman has got a chance. So he goes and conveys the message to Ravana. And when he conveys that message to Ravana, he speaks in a very, very, very dignified way and in a very, very truthful, gently and effectively. Hanuman also is impressed by Ravana's physical appearance, his grandeur, his appearance. And he thinks, had this fellow not been an evil person, he would have been the king of all these three worlds. If he did not have all these weaknesses, that sensual pleasures, the person who is just given to sensual pleasures and then looting all the three worlds and then getting what all is there in the three worlds. If he were not to be an evil person, then probably he would have been somebody who would be ruling all the three worlds. Hanuman was so totally impressed. But at the same time, he conveys the message in a very, very harsh and direct manner. And he also says, Rama is surely going to kill you if you are not going to listen to him. You just become a friend of Rama. You give back Sita. And of course, Hanuman also knows that this Ravana is too egoistical, and he is not going to yield. And Hanuman conveys that message. And there, of course, Ravana naturally, as expected, he grows very angry, and then he says, yes, try this monkey, and then, okay, that setting fire to his tail and all that. And after that, that is also a great opportunity. Till that time, Hanuman has no intention of burning Lanka. When they put all those rags and then tie his tail and then set fire to that, soak it in oil, put a lot of oil on that and then tie it and set fire to that. Not only that, they also parade him all through the Lanka, because by parading, they want to show, yes, we have captured that enemy. It is somewhat like you capture some thieves or dacoits and people like that, or terrorists, and then you parade, yes, we are parading all these terrorists, we have caught hold of terrorists. So something like that. So Hanuman was considered as some sort of terrorist by them, and he was paraded. And that was an opportunity for Hanuman to see that entire area. In fact, in the night, he had not seen it so thoroughly. During the day, again, it was a great opportunity for him. What are all the defense arrangements? What are the defense structures? Where all the weapons are kept? Weaponry, what we call the bell of arms. All those things he observes. And then, again, finally, he gets an idea. Okay, when all this entire thing is over, I have to now do some tarpanam for this Hutashana. Hutashana is Agni. Agni Deva has been there on my tail for such a long time and I have not satisfied him. I have to satisfy this Agni Deva. Then again he shakes off the bonds and then he throws away these Rakshasas. Again gets onto the roof and then from one roof to another, from one roof to another, he goes around Lanka, sets fire to Lanka. And again he thinks, oh, what have I done in my foolishness, in my just anger. The anger is something which is a great enemy to the people. And the great enemy to man. What have I done? I have probably burned down Sita also. Then, as we just now thought, as we just now saw, Hanuman thinks, yes, na Agni Ragnau pravartate. Agni cannot do any harm to Sita. Then, Swacharitra bhiguptam tam. He also says, na nashishyati kalyani, na Agni Ragnau pravartate. Rakshita svena tejasa. She is a person who is protected by her own tejas. And also Swacharitra abhigupta. That is, by her own character she is protected. So he uses so many words to say, Agni is not going to touch Agni. Agni is not going to cause any damage to Agni. Then, now we see, then Hanuman as a messenger, then again, now after all that thing is over, he again comes back, flies back to the other shore where all the other people are waiting, where Angada and all the people are waiting, Jambava and Angada and all the people are waiting, conveys the news. They are extremely happy. They are highly elated. Now there are a couple of scenes where they go to that Madhuvana. Madhuvana is somewhat like a bar, an exclusive bar for Sugriva. An exclusive vineyard, let me say, not bar, some sort of exclusive vineyards, the royal wines. So they go to that vineyard and then they have all that madhu. Of course, for that madhu, two meanings have been given by people. One meaning is honey. And the other meaning is, some commentators have also said it is not honey, it is something which is liquor made out of some flower, mova flower. So that is something like a drink only. It is some sort of intoxicating drink. So that is the reason why they are so totally intoxicated. They just jump around. If they simply eat honey, they will not be so jumping around. So they jumped around. It is somewhat like a happy hour. There was a happy hour for them. And then again that the guard who was in charge of that Madhuvana, he goes and conveys that news to this Sugriva. And Sugriva also is a very shrewd man. Sugriva immediately realizes, yes, these people have done the task, they have achieved the task. If they had not achieved the task, they would not have that. They would not have the temerity to go there. They would not have the temerity to violate my order and go there and drink that madhu. So he calls them, yes, come them, produce them soon. So they all go and report to Sugriva. And that is how we come to the end of that Sundarakanda. So then that is the reason why we saw Sundare Sundaram Kavyam, Sundare Sundarah Kapihi. So Sundare Sundaram, Kimna Sundaram. What is not beautiful in Sundarakanda? Such a nice shloka is there. That is, everything we see in the Sundarakanda is so beautiful. Then we come to this Yuddha Kanda. That Yuddha Kanda, in the very beginning, we see how Rama also is very happy on hearing the news. And again, the entire army moves from Kishkinda, the entire army moves and then comes to the shore. That is over in 2 or 3 sargas. Then, when we come to the shore, then Rama now sees on the other side of the shore, Lanka is there, and there is a moonlit night. And in that moonlit night, again this Rama's Viraha Varnana, what we call Viraha. Viraha means separation from the lover. So as I said, Rama's Viraha Varnana is not merely the Viraha of an ordinary lover. It is having so many mixed emotions. There is anger, there is frustration, there is an anger towards Ravana, frustration that he could not do anything so far, and compassion for Sita, again love for Sita. Compassion and love, all these mixed feelings are there. So then there is a wonderful shlokas are there in all these situations. Valmiki, this Vipralambha Shringara, he has very wonderfully portrayed. For example, in this particular context, when Rama is waiting on this shore and Sita is on the other shore. So he is asking the wind, oh wind, you please touch her and then come and touch me. So that in your touch, I will feel the touch of Sita. So that is what he says. Vahi vata yatah kanta tam spruštva mamapi sprusha. You touch her and then touch me, he says. And then again, In you, Tvayi me gatra samsparsha, Chandre drushti samagama. And in you, I am feeling my Sita. And when I look at Chandra, I am also looking at Sita, because Sita also is looking at the moon. And at this time, Sita also is looking at the moon. When Sita is looking at the moon, her eyes are there in Chandra. I am looking at Chandra, and in Chandra or in the moon, our eyes are meeting. In you, we are physically meeting, and in the moon, our eyes are meeting. A wonderful expression, somewhat similar to what we call the metaphysical poets in English literature. At that time, I was quoting the example of the metaphysical poets. Even earlier, we have seen such beautiful things. That is, for example, when he sees that when the sky, there is a red, when the evening sky, he sees the evening sky, there are white clouds, there is a white clouds, and that white clouds in between, there is a redness, because just behind it the sun is there. So then he sees it is looking as though somebody is injured in the sky, and there is a huge bandage. There is a bandage which is tied, and then where that wound is there, that redness is seen. Such a wonderful, that's a description. Then again, when there is a lightning, Rama thinks that somebody is giving a whiplash to somebody in heaven. There is a whiplash, somebody is being whiplashed, and then when that whiplash is there, somebody is groaning in pain. So that lightning is looking like a whiplash, and that thunder is looking like a groan of somebody who is groaning in pain. So this is something which is extraordinary, something like very extraordinary similes which we find in Valmiki Ramayana. And Valmiki has he has been a role model for all other later poets. So all the later poets like Kalidasa, etc., they have borrowed so many things from Valmiki. And again we see, then after this, then we come to the episode where Vibhishana comes. And when Vibhishana comes, then again immediately we see Rama's nature. Rama's nature is Sakrudeva Prapannaya. If somebody comes and says, I am your man, Rama is there, immediately he will give Sharanu. All other people, they say, no, you can't trust Vibhishana. All the people, Sugriva says, no, you can't trust Vibhishana. All other people say, Hanuman says, yes, you can trust Vibhishana. So Rama also has the same judgment, and Hanuman also has the same judgment. We see that Hanuman is such a wise person. Almost on par with Rama, he is thinking. They are on the same wavelength. So Rama immediately says, yes, what Hanuman says is right. We have to trust Vibhishana. We have to immediately take him. Not only take him, immediately says, okay, you go and get some water from the seas, and then immediately you coronate him here as king of Lanka. So he is coronated as king of Lanka. So even if that man is coming as a spy, he will no more be a spy, because he has now got kingdom of Lanka. Of course, Vibhishana is too good a man, and that goodness is immediately seen by Rama, because Rama is a very great judge of people and a great judge of situation. There, the way in which Vibhishana has come, it is very, 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 very clear, because Rama is not a claimant to Lanka's kingdom. Rama's enmity is only with Ravana. Rama is not going to kill all the people. In fact, Rama says, Na ekasyarthe, for the sake of one man, I don't want to kill many. That is what he repeatedly says. And he wants to give Ravana till the last chance he wants to give. In case Ravana surrenders, okay, that is okay. But Ravana doesn't surrender. So Rama's sense of judgment we see in this place. Not only Rama's sense of judgment, but also Hanuman's sense of judgment. And then again we see where Rama again he sends Angada as another some sort of messenger. First time Hanuman had conveyed the message. Second time Angada goes. Angada again, why? Because Lokaninda Pariharaya, the commentators said, oh, Rama could have given a last chance to Ravana. So he wants to give a last chance to Ravana. Yes, again go and tell him, let him surrender Sita. So even then he doesn't listen. So then again, war starts, and then we see that a lot of this killing takes place, and there is a Raudra Rasa Varnana, and in those war scenes we find this Raudra Rasa and also Bhivatsa Rasa. Bhivatsa means everywhere the dead bodies, the description of the dead bodies, and then that whole area was looking like a big river in which all these dead bodies were floating. So a river of blood. So all that thing we saw, that Bhivatsa Rasa. Bibhatsa means something which is grotesque, something which you just can't bear, abhorrent, something which is abhorring. It is something which you can't even look at. Raudra is something which is valorous. Raudra you can see. Bibhatsa is something which is disgusting, which is something which is abhorring. So that sort of thing. So all these rasas are portrayed by Valmiki in this place. Then even a man like Kumbhakarna, we see that Kumbhakarna's episode, a very, very interesting episode, particularly for kids, it will be such an interesting thing. So this Kumbhakarna, again, he also advises Ravana. He also says, you have violated, you have unnecessarily brought this Sita, you could have given back Sita. And Ravana, again, he is in no mood to listen. You are talking like my father or grandfather. If at all you are willing to fight for me, you fight. Otherwise, you go and sleep off. So something like that, because Ravana also cannot do anything to Kumbhakarna. So, but then Kumbhakarna is a very loyal younger brother, and he says, okay, if it is for the sake of if for the sake of Ravana I have to give up my life, I will give up my life. So he is like that. Then again this war starts, and in that war we see how there was an occasion where Ravana is totally helpless. Ravana is his chariot is broken, his bow is broken, he is on the ground, and then he is just helpless, and he is so totally tired. And Rama says, today you are totally tired. You just go back. Equip yourself. Come back tomorrow. Prepare well tomorrow, and then come. So that shows what is called dharma veeratvam. Commentators have said not only Yuddha Veera means brave and courageous and valorous in the battle. Not only that, Dharma Veera, and he is in the case in showing dharma also. He is following dharma. When the enemy is weak, when the enemy is not having a weapon in his hand, you are not supposed to shoot. That holds even today. We are not supposed to shoot. A policeman is not supposed to shoot unless the other person also is having some weapon, and unless there is a real threat to the life of the policeman. So that is what even today it holds. So the same principle Rama applies. He says, now you don't have a bow and arrow. Moreover, you are tired. You get home. So that shows the dharma viratvam. Even in extreme situation, very, very extreme situation also, Rama is a person who does not deviate from dharma. Then immediately after that, we see that Ravana knows, yes, he is really helpless. And now he uses all other tricks. He sends Indrajit. Indrajit also, he uses some tricks. He goes to the place where Rama and Lakshmana were not there. He goes to the other gate, that is some other gate, that western gate or some other gate where Hanuman was there, because Hanuman is the only person who has seen Sita. So he takes some Maya Sita. Indrajit takes some Maya Sita, and then he beheads her in the presence of Hanuman. Hanuman is so totally shattered. He comes and then tells that to Rama, and Rama immediately collapses. He thinks that, oh, Sita has been killed. There in that sarga and two sargas, we see the great love of Rama for Sita. You see, Rama is a person who is so totally in love with Sita, and he just cannot live without Sita. And this, if we contrast with what he is going to say at the end of Yuddha Kanda, that there we find that great conflict in Rama. On one hand, he is having such great love for Sita, compassion, love, all these things. Then again, as a king, he has to do his dharma. We'll see that. Then now what happens when Rama collapses? Lakshmana is so disillusioned. Lakshmana feels all this dharma is a waste. We have been too good to people, and all this goodness is waste. So he thinks. So there is a great discussion on what is dharma and what is adharma. Because in all such situations, the epic poets, usually in all epics, the epic writer finds some opportunity to have some debates on what is dharma and what is adharma. For example, people say might is right. So here also Lakshmana also says adharma is actually giving happiness and dharma is giving you misery. Then why should people follow dharma? And this dharma is only for some sort of kliba. Kliba means a very, very important person. Klaibyam asmagamah partha. We get in Bharatam also. Bharatam and Bhagavad Gita. Krishna says, Klaibyam asmagamah partha. That is, don't talk like an important person. So, kliba, dharma is something which is followed only by a kliba, that is a powerless important person. And if dharma bows before such balam, then follow balam. Then if dharma, righteousness, is something which is subservient to might, if might is right, then you follow might. So Lakshmana comes to that. Then there is a discussion there. And finally, of course, Lakshmana also realizes that he is saying all that in a sort of emotional, that sort of stress. Then again, how that entire sarga, that entire scene shows how even the best of people can become totally disillusioned in times of great stress. Then we see that Vibhishana consoles, and then Vibhishana says, all this is the Maya, all this is the trick of Indrajit. And then again Rama comes out, and then Rama comes out of that grief, and then again this battle starts. And finally we see how this Ravana also has been killed. And while this killing of Ravana again it is shown in so many passages. And there we came across one very interesting passage called Aditya Hridayam. Aditya Hridayam is one philosophical passage which we saw in the Valmiki Ramayana. And that philosophical passage we discussed for about 10 days or so, all names which are there. And Aditya Hridayam is a great meditation. And how it is a great meditation on the Supreme, we discussed in great detail. And after that, we see how Ravana is killed. And when Ravana is killed, Vibhishana is really grieving. Vibhishana is so totally aggrieved. After all, Vibhishana is his own younger brother. And Vibhishana's grief is not something which is spurious, or not something which is fake. It is some real grief. So then again, we see there Ravana, and he also says, oh, this man was such a great Ahitagni. Ahitagni means a person who kept fires in his own house and worshipped fires. Ahitagni, that is same culture. That also we see repeatedly in Valmiki Ramayana. We should not say that Rama represented some Aryan culture or Ravana represented a Dravidian culture. That is something people who do not read Ramayana, they can say anything. So we see in Ramayana that Ravana was an Ahitagni. He was keeping fires in his house, and all these people, they were also doing yajnas. And when Hanuman was in Lanka in search of Sita, the first sounds he heard was the sounds of the Vedas, Veda Ghosha, in the early morning, in the early hours, when Hanuman was about to speak to Sita, the very first sounds he heard were Veda Ghosha in all these Rakshasa houses. So there were Rakshasas, but at the same time, Veda Ghosha was also there. So that means the culture is the same. Only thing is, one is a Sattvika disposition, the other is a Rajasa disposition. That is all. Then again, then Ravana, after Ravana's death, then we see that how this Mandodari comes and cries over the dead body, and she says, Indriya, you overpowered your Indriyas first. You took control of the Indriyas first. Indriyani pura jitva jitam tribhuvanam tvaya. That is, you mastered your Indriyas, you controlled your Indriyas, and by controlling your Indriyas, you conquered all the three worlds. And those Indriyas have again conquered you. You came under the spell, you came under the sway of those Indriyas, and now you have lost everything. This is the most important message of, very, very important message of Ramayana. That is, a person who has that self-control, he is achieving all things. A person who has lost that self-control, a person who then, he is losing everything. So that is how this Mandodari describes. Then again, all this tapas, what all tapas Ravana had done, it is an example of tamasa tapas. He had given off all his heads and all that in order to forcibly get some boons from Lord Shiva, and Lord Shiva, he gave some boons. So with all those boons, he became very, very powerful and all that. All these things we have seen. The Ravana is a great example of a learned person, a highly learned person, who has been a victim of Kama, not victim of Kama and Krodha, who basically a person who had all that Kama, Krodha, and all his tapas was neutralized by his bad conduct. So we will continue tomorrow. Harihi Om Tat Sat.